Greetings. I'm Kathy Green with Christian News and Interviews. And today I'm going to share with you part 2 of my 2-part YouTube talk about Ray Wood. And what I'm going to share with you now is snippets of an article called Incognito: How Law Enforcement Spies on Black Radical Groups. It was written by Ellie J. Rachel, and it is a long article, so I'm going to advise you to read it on your own, and it is an outstanding article, so please read it. I put it in the link section of part 1 of this series, and I may also put it below also. Because of the length of this, I'm not going to read all of it, but I just want to share with you a little bit about the character of Ray Wood. As you know, it's all over the news. He wrote a letter, which, as a coward, he didn't read himself, but he left it to his cousin to read upon his death, and he died a miserable death. He died of stomach cancer. But this article, which was written a few years ago, talked about what a horrible person Wood actually was. And what I'm going to do is share a few excerpts from this article. Wood suggested illegal acts to radical groups in the hope the organizations would act on his suggestions and provide police the ability to arrest black radicals. Now, they keep saying radical, but I object to that. They were not radicals. These were human beings who were out there fighting for their rights to exist as human beings. So I don't like the word radicals, but other than that, excellent article. For example, Wood likely planted the idea to blow up the Statue of Liberty. Now, he was an undercover police officer infiltrating black organizations, but here he was suggesting illegal activities for them to do. And keep in mind that this man was able to live with himself, knowing that he caused all this hurt and pain in the black community. Wood was outed as an agent when a story appeared in the New York Times about his role in investigating a 1965 plot by another radical group, the Black Liberation Front, to blow up the Statue of Liberty. This was a plan obviously suggested to members of East River Corps. Even though he was not a member, Wood went out of his way to attend the meetings, to be involved and helpful. As he got to know members, he suggested they get involved in more militant actions like the Statue of Liberty plan and robbing liquor stores to raise funds for East River Corps. Such actions would have done enormous damage to the reputation and public support of the entire national organization as Corps stressed nonviolent action. Unbeknownst to the chapter, Wood was spying on members and eventually reported chapter head Blyden Jackson as a possible member of the Communist Party to the House of Un-American Activities Committee. Whew. So, what else did he do? Wood and other undercover agents like him had a detrimental impact on organizations like CORE. Wood was not just spying on CORE, but was on a mission to misdirect, disrupt, discredit, and neutralize CORE. Their leadership. He was acting as a provocateur. What resulted from those operations were not just literal assassinations such as the police murder of Black Panther's Fred Hampton in Chicago, but character assassination, as in the case of Coors Callender and Blyden. Such operations demonize black leaders in the public eye and thereby delegitimize both the civil rights and black power movements. Now, this Ray Wood caused a lot of pain and misery in the black community. How he lived with himself, I do not know. But notice that the article talked about the fact that he was suggesting that black people the leaders engage in all these criminal activities. He's the one who should have been arrested. He was a sociopath, is what he was. And he was the one telling them, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, you should do that. What a provocateur. They call him a provocateur. I call him, I have another name for him, but it's not, I can't say it on YouTube. I have quite a few other names for this monster of a man. And then towards the end of his life, his guilt about what he did regarding Malcolm X apparently ate him up to the point that he ended up with stomach cancer. And he had his cousin read the letter for him because he lived as a coward, existed as a coward, died as a coward. I'll leave it at that.